Alright, we're going to try out this Easy Aim Mecha Frieza and King Cold unit. Based on like initial details, they seem solid, but I'm not sure because I've seen some people say their numbers haven't really looked too good, unfortunately, but we'll take a look at them here. Obviously, link level 10 full rainbowed on Dokkan Entropy. The link should be in the description below, so feel free to check it out. But yeah, this is the Battlefield EZA. These guys are actually 4 years old, finally getting their EZA. I think that's pretty nice, right? There are a couple of changes to them, but not really many that are too major, right? So this guy obviously wants to be in full Wicked Bloodline. He gets 30% attack and defense per Wicked Bloodline category ally on the team. That goes up to 90%. And if there's a full Wicked Bloodline rotation, he also gives key 1 and 50% defense to all allies. And just in general, he gives Wicked Bloodline key 1 and 30% attack, right? So he's able to give a lot of support there. And additionally, you see right here, he's at 258. He gets 30% defense when attacking. And then on a super attack effect, 18 key, he gets 30% defense on there as well. So there's going to be that multiplicative defense in play there. But again, his start of turn defense is pretty low with 250k. And he's getting support, I believe, because if I'm not mistaken, Frieza does support Wicked Bloodline. So I don't know, and that attack set number isn't really looking too hot there. So like if we take a look at what their defense was going to be, their defense on this turn was 422k. Now as a free-to-play support unit, is that okay? That's okay, right? You know, I'm not gonna be like, you know, oh, they 100% needed. Well, I don't know, I kind of lied. They do need more. They would like to have more. The thing about this is, funny enough, we're gonna be against a Super Saiyan enemy for the rest of the fight because, again, transforming Vegeta, he's Super Saiyan, right? And basically the rest of the fight is just all the transforming Vegeta forms, right? His EZA came out, by the way. I think he's good. I think he's a fine EZA, but regarding Frieza and King Cold, they do get 9 key and a guaranteed additional super attack if there's a Super Saiyan's category enemy, which since we're going to be facing here, they will be able to get a pretty substantial buff in terms of just, you know, the additional super attack will give them extra defense. The 12 key does raise attack and defense with the turn. 9 key will make them a lot more consistent, and they'll be able to look good here. So we have a good majority of their links active. We'll grab this with Frieza, and we'll grab this. Their 18 key also does give extreme class allies attack and defense attack of 35% for 2 turns. So again, yeah, very similar defensive levels, a little lower than what we saw last time, but we'll move Frieza over here and we'll see what Frieza could potentially give this guy. We'll probably just wrap things up from there. This is a very straightforward unit. Best single partner is this free-to-play Frieza. He's not really good anymore either. Yeah, I mean, Wicked Bloodline isn't a fine spot right now, but it's like, yeah, 6.13 is not really a great attack stat. Even if you think of him as a support, it's like fine. And then, well, they do guarantee double super here. This does lower attack, right? But when are you facing Super Saiyans? Like, Broly. I talked about the AGL Broly is like going to be the situation where you're going to be facing a Super Saiyan category enemy. And then, you know, if we go into some of these like legendary fights, right? But it's like, most of the time, you know, Red Zone, no, really just all villains, so there's not really gonna be Super Saiyans like that, which hurts this guy a lot, because that 9 key and the guaranteed additional super, it's almost like they kind of want that, just like baseline. That would help them out quite a lot. You guys don't know how much that multiplicative 30% extra defense would help them out. For example, remember I told you about the 422k defense set that they got last time? Well, if they got a double super, I believe that would, based on the calculator, let me go ahead and look it up here. That would shoot them up to over 500k defense if they got 60% instead of 30%. It does matter for sure. Getting those extra like raises on their defense, it's very, very important for a unit. Just these multiplicative buffs, right? But this unit doesn't, like, attack wise they don't have multiplicative buffs. Defense wise they did get one though, which is nice, right? So I believe the Int Meta Cooler, what stat did she give here? So it gives 40% defense and 30% attack, right? So We see this is the highest we've seen him so far, 265k start of turn. I don't think we get any extra links now, so we'll put him right in the front right here. So again, 265, and then let's just keep clicking orbs. So their defense, once we consider the full multiplicative buff here, and with them double supering, is 550k, which is enough to tank normals from any boss in the game, which, you know, in a situation like that, I'll take that, right? But if we consider that they're not going to be double supering, their defense shoots down to 440k, which is not enough, right? So it's almost like they're designed to have that additional super attack, right? But without it, the defense is just not really up to par of what today's standards for units are, in my opinion. I mean, okay, against AGL Sin, this unit you could run him. I think you could definitely run this unit in not AGL Sin, in Physical Sin, right? The 7th fight, because he has type advantage at the end. He could debuff the first phase. The AGL phase, once he super attacks, he'll be okay against, right? He'll take some damage on some of those normals that he'll take, but if he's a floater, the AoEs are only going to do about 200k damage to him, which he has that level of defense just start of turn like that. So it's not really going to be a big deal for him to potentially live those AoE normals. Against Physical Sin Shenron, he'll take damage from the normals for sure, but he will at least have type advantage, and him supporting will be good. So that's like the one place I could see him being workable in. Not Sin. I was going to say Metacooler Core as well. I think Metacooler Core could work pretty nicely for him overall. But yeah, really those two stages are where this unit is going to be at, like his max efficiency here. So this will, again, I think we haven't seen this turn yet. This is probably going to be their best offensive turn here. Actually, no, Kuliza gives the same attack buff, so it doesn't really matter. We'll just see this here. I don't even know what I was talking about here. I mean, they do have a link, Tough as Nails, that they could potentially activate. In certain situations, I think, right? I mean, let me take a look here. Tough as Nails. Who could they get this with? Ma Junior, they would be able to get with in Terrifying Conquerors, right? One issue is that this is the only 200% double meta cooler leader. So, like, if we consider you're running S tier cooler as your lead, then they're gonna get even less stats. Or Ma Junior as a lead, right? Well, honestly, Ma Junior wouldn't even work, because you want to have a full Wicked Bloodline rotation. Physical King Cold. So, like, in a super battle road kind of situation, like, Physical King Cold is a unit you could maybe run, and he will be able to give you Tough as Nails. But yeah, it's literally just because of King Cold that this unit has that link, and not something like Big Bad Bosses, probably. Like, this unit should have gone Big Bad Bosses. I think that would have helped him quite a lot. But that's something that, like, they made this unit's links, like, literally freaking years ago, right? This unit, again, came out in about 2019, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, their initial release date, July 1st, 2019. Literally 4 years and a month ago is when this unit actually officially came out on the GP version. And I don't know. Like, they have some niche uses to them, so I'm not gonna say like they're necessarily like just absolutely terrible garbage, but I'm not really a fan. They're not great. They're okay, right? If we get a Super Saiyan's enemy, they could cook though. I think for sure. This is why I'm not saying they're bad, but it's like, do we know when we're gonna get a Super Saiyan category enemy again? No. Like, it's literally impossible to tell. We can get, like, maybe next month is Future Saga, and the hardest fight in the game becomes the Super Saiyan Sword of Hope Trunks. And then it's like, oh, this unit is really good in there, and he's physical and stuff like that. Or maybe next month is, like, I don't know, like, Dragon Fist Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and then, like, Karudagarn becomes the hardest fight in the game. And it's like, okay, well, we can't really use that unit in there, right? Super Battle Road is probably where they're going to be at their best, I think, especially with the King Cold link, Tough as Nails. They have the debuffing and everything. There's actually a decent amount of Super Saiyan category enemies in Super Battle Road. Maybe certain fights in Battlefield, but I don't know. This unit honestly doesn't seem worth EZing. I would probably focus your like coins or just save your battlefield currency for another unit. I mean, like physical Ginyu would probably even still be a better unit to EZA with like the battlefield currency. I would say so. Probably like physical Ginyu would be a better unit to EZA there. I'm trying to think of who else is in there in the battlefield shop at the top of my head, but I mean, I think pretty much him. Any future EZA's EZA Oob. I think Oob's EZA is definitely a better option to pick up, honestly. I don't know. Let me know what y'all think of this Mecha Frieza and King Cold. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Peace out.